Okay, wonderful. So thank you very much, Michael, for the introduction, and thank you to the entire Vienna team for organizing this really important and timely conference. As mentioned, I will be talking about the VirtualBrainCloud project, and I would like to start to give you a short introduction to the virtual brain. The virtual brain is a simulation tool that merges human imaging data with mathematical models to enable personalized brain simulation. So we reconstruct a brain model from a person's brain imaging data set. And here you can see the process of shaping a virtual brain model using different modalities of brain imaging data. For this, we have automated pipelines available. The virtual brain simulator then generates activity, the same type of signals that we can measure in the real brains. And as you have heard in the introduction by Jan Bjale earlier today about the Human Brain Project, the European flagship project, we built an infrastructure there, EBRAINS, to enable simulations also of the virtual brain at a larger scale. That means at high resolution and for large patient cohorts. I will now give you a short overview of what we have achieved in terms of simulating virtual brains in the Human Brain Project.
The Virtual Brain Tool Suite is a large open source ecosystem with an end-to-end workflow for creating personalized brain network models and simulating them. It is now available on the European Brain Research Infrastructures, or EBRAINS Cloud. The Virtual Brain on EBRAINS, or TVB on EBRAINS, allows users to construct, simulate, and analyze personalized brain network models. Its powerful features can be used from your local computer, making computationally expensive neurological research possible from the comfort of your web browser. The virtual brain integration in EBRAINS allows users to have an end-to-end experience of personalized brain model creation and multi-scale brain simulation using high-performance computing in the cloud. This makes it possible to process large cohort databases, which in turn makes it possible to produce generalized results. This is a precondition for being able to use these results to develop potential medical treatments, therapies, or diagnostic procedures. The Virtual Brain on EBRAINS ecosystem software is open source. The software is distributed in the form of execution-ready Docker containers that can be pulled from Docker Hub. The containers can be executed on supercomputers using secure container environments like Saris or Shifter. Jupyter Notebooks enable users to operate the containers on supercomputers directly from their web browser. TVB on EBRAINS includes a variety of simulation tools, pipelines, and data sets, which we will introduce in the course of this video. The Virtual Brain ecosystem on EBRAINS contains the Virtual Brain Simulator that can be used in the cloud with a supercomputing backend, ready-to-use pipelines to build personalized brains that enable users to process their own imaging data or share data with large cohorts, TVB-ready imaging datasets of patients and healthy controls discoverable via EBRAINS, the TVB multiscale co-simulation web application, which enables co-simulating some brain regions at a finer scale using the NEST simulator. Fast and parallelizable hardware-near implementations of TVB models, containerized for direct use on EBRAINS via Colab notebooks. The INCF training space, with a dedicated area for the virtual brain, where a rich multitude of didactic use cases are available with video tutorials, Jupyter Notebooks, and example datasets. All software and datasets in the virtual brain ecosystem are registered and annotated in the knowledge graph to make them easier to locate and use. The tools are functional and ready to use, and you can be the next user.
So the challenge with this kind of complex biomedical data is that anonymization is not possible. Typical data anonymization strategies like removing metadata, releasing only subsets of data, or deleting facial features from MRI data are insufficient to protect the identity of the person, the data subject, as it was shown that the re-identification is possible with just 40 functional connections or 15 demographic attributes. So complex biomedical data cannot be anonymized. Precisely the information that characterizes the biomedical state of a person and is therefore useful for biomedical research is typically a very unique feature of that person that can be used to identify them. If the privacy is breached, the individuals from which these data were collected face a number of potential harms with respect to their societal reputation or economic circumstances. Several large-scale initiatives are collecting thousands of features from millions of people, but infrastructure with appropriate technical and organizational measures for managing and processing sensitive data is missing. So the data protection by design and by default, Article 25, requires to take into account the risk for the data subject and to implement appropriate technical and organizational measures to protect the rights of the data subject. Article 42 certification encourages the establishment of data protection certification mechanisms for the purpose of demonstrating compliance with GDPR. And this may result in the European Data Protection Seal. According to Article 43, certification bodies will be formed for this purpose. The problem is that presently they are not yet in place and there is no real certification on an EU level possible. So here I'm showing a list of initiatives in which I'm personally involved that work on the development of infrastructure for processing of sensitive data across different scales, from the European level via the national level down to the local hospital level. And I want to share with you some of my experience with respect to building those infrastructures. So let me start with the European Open Science Cloud. I recently joined the architecture working group. The EOSC, European Open Science Cloud, aims to accelerate the deployment and consolidation of an open, trusted, virtual federated environment in Europe to store, share, and reuse research data across borders and scientific disciplines. And for this purpose, the EOSC works with many different stakeholders, with research institutions, with research funders, with policy makers, and also with the operators of the infrastructures and the computational resources. Another European level project is the Human Brain Project, and you have heard the nice overview by Professor Biale earlier today. I also have shown you the small overview video about the workflows that we have established there for the virtual brain. The EBRAINS infrastructure of the Human Brain Project is based on 5 supercomputing centers across Europe, the so-called Phoenix infrastructure that tries to integrate data repositories with scalable supercomputing systems. And an initial version of this infrastructure is currently being realized through the Interactive Computing E-Infrastructure ICEI project, which is part of the Human Brain Project. Another local development that I'm leading in collaboration with the local computer science department and the non-for-profit company INDOC, a Canadian-based organization, is the virtual research environment for the Charité and the Berlin Institute of Health. And I would like to play another short video to explain you the idea of this virtual research environment.
What is the virtual research environment? We have many pools of medical research and clinical data worldwide, with information from patients and healthy individuals flowing into them. But it can be hard for scientists to locate and process different data from different pools. The goal of the Charité Health Data Platform and the virtual research environment is to make medical data secure, findable, and usable for research purposes. We follow the FAIR guiding principles for scientific data management: findability, accessibility, interoperability, reusability. Our aim is to provide user-friendly tools that help researchers to be able to access and use data securely without intensive specialized training. Imagine dashboards that let researchers easily see information about all the available data, and workbenches that allow them to easily read, write, and share the results. What is the Charité Health Data Platform, or the HDP? The HDP is responsible for ingesting patient data from the Charité Hospital and making it available for use in research. It is still a work in progress. The Health Data Platform is made up of many different components, including a data lake, a clinical data zone, and a research data zone. Here you see the cluster's many parts and its repertoire of functionalities. The HDP's underlying technology is an Apache Hadoop cluster. It is an entire ecosystem of frameworks, tools, and software built for scalable and reliable storage and distributed processing of data. The Virtual Research Environment, or the VRE, integrates with the Charité Health Data Platform systems and extends its functionalities. The goal of the VRE is to make it easier for researchers to find and securely access data and use it in innovative ways. What are the Virtual Research Environment's most important features? The VRE will provide support for new kinds of data. The Health Data Platform already includes systems for ingesting and processing some kinds of data, such as lab testing results or electronic patient records. The VRE will develop solutions for additional types of data, such as functional test protocols and radiological imaging. The Virtual Research Environment will also provide a model for data annotation. The VRE will develop concepts for metadata, data catalogs, and data models so that data can be fully annotated. This makes it possible to search for and find data using search terms and keywords. The VRE will provide a portal that is open also for external users who do not belong to the Charité. This will allow external data to be ingested from other sources and external collaborators to access the Health Data Platform's data. Security and privacy is also a key concern for the Virtual Research Environment. Each data set in the VRE will have a responsible data controller. This might be, for example, the lead researcher of a study, or in the case of a clinical routine data, a board. They are responsible for providing proof of consent from the patient and granting other researchers access to the data. Legal regulations must be strictly followed to protect the data privacy of all patients and make sure consent has been given for the way the data is used. The VRE will provide digital tools and services for using data, such as simulators, analysis, and machine learning tools, and processing pipelines. New tools can be added, or existing tools can be extended by you, the user. These tools are available in a secure environment and accessed on the workbench. Encrypted data can be accessed and processed remotely on high-performance computer clusters. This prevents sensitive patient data from being leaked, with the added bonus of avoiding long and error-prone data transfer times. If you have the permissions, data can also be securely transferred to your own or another computer. In addition to helping doctors share medical data, the VRE provides access to the pre-computed results of previous research projects. This means alongside research papers, you can also find the data sets, notebooks, and tools used to produce those results. This will help validate results by making the research transparent and repeatable and increase collaboration between researchers of different disciplines. The VRE doesn't just work with the Charité Health Data Platform. It will also be interoperable with other international open health data initiatives, such as the VirtualBrainCloud, or the Human Brain Project, or the European Open Science Cloud. So, in summary, the virtual research environment will extend the Health Data Platform by providing workflows for radiologic imaging data, a model for cataloging data and making it easier to find, workbenches for modeling, simulating, and analyzing data, a portal that is open also for external users who do not belong to the Charité, interoperability with international data commons like those developed under the European Open Science Cloud, for example, the VirtualBrainCloud or the Human Brain Project. We want to ensure that this development is open and accessible to all clinicians and scientists at the Charité and BIH so we can solve today's pressing medical challenges together.
So unlike the EBRAINS cloud infrastructure, the virtual research environment infrastructure is deployed on dedicated machines located within the secure hospital premises. And in the context of the VirtualBrainCloud, we develop a solution that is portable outside of such safe hospital environment and open for external user groups. And here you see some of the safeguards that we are implementing for the VirtualBrainCloud and also the virtual research environment. Oops. So the VirtualBrainCloud is a European project with 17 partners and another Canadian partner who does the technical coordination. And our goal is to enable exploitation of health data through simulation on a large scale to support clinical decision making. André Gmünd from Fraunhofer SCAI will present the details of the implementation. In the VirtualBrainCloud, we are developing infrastructure for sensitive data processing and compliance with EU regulations, protecting subject rights and complying with the GDPR principles. We develop blueprints and recommendations with respect to derogations for scientific research purposes. And you can find the information and reports, webinars, and recordings of conferences on our website. So the key message here is that also with GDPR, it is possible to share and to process health data on a larger scale. And we are developing solutions on the VirtualBrainCloud and treat GDPR as an enabler for personal data processing. And with this, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Petra, for this fascinating presentation about the VirtualBrainCloud.